Hello class, this is a brief tutorial that I'd like to share in case it's helpful for the assignment on skills analysis table and data visualization. I'm going to be using Microsoft Excel for this tutorial, but if you prefer to use Google Sheets, they both work pretty similarly for this assignment. Go ahead and open up a new spreadsheet. I'll say this tutorial is really kind of targeted towards people who might be new to using Excel. So if you've used it before, this might be a little bit elementary and basic. The first part of the assignment here calls for making a list of basically 10 skills, some of them that maybe you're stronger at and some that you're still building and developing. And starting those out here just at the very top of the spreadsheet in the cell that's labeled A1. So that's column A and row 1. To save a little bit of time, I've gone ahead and pre-drafted some of these skills in a separate sheet so you can add new sheets. This is not part of your homework, but just something I've done to save some time so that I can copy and paste these in for you today. So you might start with something kind of basic, like saying that you're organized. And then the next step says to go ahead and list 4 more skills that you think you are proficient at or that you would maybe call a strong point. So go ahead and list a few more. I've got them here. I'll say this is a really good point if maybe you're having a hard time thinking up of what skills you might have, because 10 could feel like a lot. A resource that I've included with the assignment is a link to the Bureau of Labor Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook. And if you follow the link that I've provided, it will look probably something like this at the main page. I have gone ahead and opened up a specific career, and since we're talking about computer science information systems this week, I've picked up the one for computer information systems managers. The section that could be helpful is beyond the summary, which gives basic information about the career. You could consider taking a look at the tab that says how to become one. And this is the same for all of these profiles, regardless of what career. If you scroll down, it will actually mention here important qualities. And so that could be an idea for some skills if you're wondering at this point, what else can I add? So I'm going to go ahead and minimize that for now. And I'll just say I actually did for this exercise, this tutorial, I pulled in some of these skills here, which I'm going to say are the skills I'd be practicing or wanting to learn from that list, and then added a couple others. If you double click here at the top of the column, you can open things up. It's not necessary. But the next step is then in the column to the right, which is column B, to just add a number between 1 and 10, where 10 indicates you're very strong or very confident in your skill, and 1 indicates you're really just getting started, but it's still maybe something you want to work on. This is not precise, so you can estimate. I'll go ahead and say maybe we're a 9 for organized, and a 10 for being reliable, maybe an 8 for being a fast learner. I speak English and French, although my French isn't that great, so maybe I'll say I'm a 7 here for being bilingual. And video editing, I kind of get by. But I still have room to improve. Maybe social media, I'm still learning. I might say that I'm a 4 here. Data analysis, maybe I'm okay, but still have room to go, so a 5. Decision making is one I took off of the web page, and I feel a little stronger about that, but you could put whatever number feels right for you. Leadership, maybe I'm an 8, and then budgeting, yeah, maybe a 7. Again, this is not exact. You can adjust those numbers as you see fit. But at this point, you'll have your very basic spreadsheet. It should be a spreadsheet that has 10 rows. Each row in column A has a skill, and next to it in column B, there is a number. And if you've done this, you will have completed part 1 of the assignment. So we'll just move into part 2, and I'll say this is where Excel and Google start to look a little bit different. If you highlight the area that we filled in, so from cell A1 up here in the upper left down to B10 down in the lower right, we'll have that whole area highlighted, and we'll be now using this to create a data visualization. I know that each version of Microsoft Excel might be a little bit different, so you might have to explore if your version looks different than mine right here. But in this version, which is for a Mac, if you select the word Insert from the menu at the top of the screen, it should give you some choices. And in this version, it'll give you some visual choices here. You can click on the one that looks like columns like this to create a basic column chart. And I would suggest starting out with something simple, maybe a clustered column. You could try stacked and compare. But for this, let's just start simple and pick a clustered column. And it's pretty nice because it will automatically create a table for you. What it's going to show is along the x-axis, all those skills we had listed, and then along the y-axis, the numerical rating to kind of visualize. In this way, you can see pretty clearly, according to my ratings, my own ratings, I've said that kind of the social media or data analysis might be skills that I want to improve, whereas something like my being reliable or organized interpersonal skills, I've rated here as being a little bit stronger. At this point, you could actually call this complete for part 1 and part 2. If you want to get a little more sophisticated, you could experiment and do things like maybe change the colors of the charts. You could change the ways that the chart looks if you want. You could even add a different type of chart if you would like to have a, by comparison, maybe you're interested in having a pie chart, something like this, circular pie chart. You can see that that looks a little bit different there. And there's relative advantages and disadvantages to all of these. I'm going to go back because I actually like the other one better. So I'll leave this little tutorial at this for now. What you can do when you upload this work is just save this whole spreadsheet and upload the entire sheet, or you could copy this into another document. There is part 3 to this assignment. Just a few short questions to respond to. I hope this is helpful.